okay, tired.
A little bit tired, yeah. You had a late match last night. Well, not a late match, but a late trip after you had a match up with State Fair last evening, which went well for you.
It did. The kids played well, and I was so happy. You're always happy when they win 3 straight, but you're especially happy when you're looking at a 4-hour trip afterwards and trying to get them home and knowing they have classes early this morning and we have lots of things to do.
And as a reward, I guess you kind of gave them the day off, let them rest up a little.
We did. Well, we planned the day off anyway. It wouldn't have mattered what happened. We've got a trip to West Plains, and we're still recovering from our trip to Utah, so we try to strategically plan those days off so that they can have some recovery time and we can get our brains back in order.
Well, so far in the young season, I believe you're 6-3. And your only losses came out at Utah, in which that was a tremendous tournament that you had out there. Very good competition, and you kind of went out there still trying to figure some things out. You had a player that joined the team a little bit late, and you had maybe one practice with her before you left.
Right, 1 hour practice.
1 hour practice.
Yes,
okay.
And she's played a key role, and we anticipated that she would be one of the starters, and so we knew it was going to be kind of rough going. You kind of wonder whether to play those people and get the kinks out, knowing you're going to probably take some losses in the process. But I think the end is what's important, and so we decided to go ahead and is not quite sacrifice, but certainly we knew that might be a possibility. Things might be a little rough, and in volleyball, the flow of the game is so important, and so anything like that, a new person and a change or something like that can really affect the chemistry and what's going on out there and really disrupt their rhythm.
What kind of vibe are you getting from the team right now? You feeling pretty good about it? Are they coming together as you would have hoped?
I am. I went home and told my husband the other night, I said, for the last team you had, this is such a wonderful group of young ladies. They go to classes, they study, they work hard in practice. And it's interesting. I go to practice with a smile on my face because you know you're going to get a whole bunch from them. And sometimes you're challenged by your team because they don't always have their priorities straight when they're 17 and 18 years old. And this is a very mature group of young ladies and very dedicated, and it's just a nice group of kids, and it's fun. They're making it fun.
It's funny how you say that they go to class, because your team from last year was actually the academic All-American team. So obviously they went to class quite a bit last year.
Yes, and they have 30 suicides if they don't. But this group, we don't have to threaten them with the 30 suicides. They just instinctively go to class, and I guess that's what I meant, because they always have to go to class.
Oh, sure, and they're going to. There's no doubt about that. Again, 30 suicides, yeah,
that's a lot.
That'll make you think twice about skipping
Absolutely.
a class. You have a nice mix of sophomores and freshmen, good experience back from last year, and experience in several different positions too, which helps.
Yes, but there's really only 2 starters returning to the lineup, and that's big. It's Becky and Chen, and Chen only plays front row, so it's like 1.5 starters back. So there was some chemistry to work out, and a lot of our sophomores returning, like Brooke and Laura, have secured the other starting positions, but there's still a rhythm that's affected. And so it takes a little while. It's not as easy as it was when I had 4 kids that had started from the previous year returning to the lineup, and that makes a big difference. But I anticipate that by the end of the season, this group is going to be stronger.
You've already mentioned really since, I guess, day one of this season that this is going to be your last year. You're going to be stepping down as the volleyball coach. Obviously, you'll still be the AD until you decide you've had enough of that, which probably won't be for a while.
Hopefully not.
But nonetheless, do you kind of see the girls looking at it like an opportunity to try to send you out the way you deserve to go out?
I think there's some of that and some of it for the press, but I look at it like this is a group of kids that I'm glad I'm having an opportunity to coach, but I would really like for the focus to be on them, and I don't hope for them any more than I've hoped for any team. Our goal has always been to go to the national championship, and the teams have always been special to me. So to say that I want them to go out with a bang, it's probably no greater, like I said, desire than it's ever been. You always hope for the national championship, and it would be nice to have one of those under our belts. But it's for them. It's because they work hard and they deserve it. I guess that's what I want to mostly get across, is that it doesn't need to be about me. It needs to be about them.
Well, you're going to be coaching your last season, which you've coached 32 years now. You've been to the Nationals 21 times. I believe it was 19 conference championships, about the same as far as regional championships. You've already been inducted into the NJCAA Hall of Fame. You were part of the inaugural class for volleyball in the volleyball wing. And another new honor is coming your way as well. You're going to be honored by your alma mater of your high school, DeSoto, going into the DeSoto Hall of Fame. That's pretty neat, too.
It is. It's kind of interesting. I'll see people on the street and they'll mention something to me, and it's kind of odd, to be coming from that direction, but it's fun. I enjoyed my high school, and I certainly think that it's a nice honor, and I really appreciate it.
Well, let's take a look at what's coming up for you this week. As you mentioned, you're going to be going out to West Plains. Tournament starts there on Friday, and you'll actually play West Plains, though, on Thursday evening, which this will be your first look at, possibly your toughest opponent in a region.
Right. We usually do this. It's a long way down there, so we try to decrease travel as much as possible for expense and for the team for recovery time. So we usually go on Thursday night and play them, and then head into the tournament for Friday and Saturday. So it's worked out pretty well. The kids are pretty tired after it. Certainly they're the best of 5 matches, and that's a lot of best of 5 matches in a couple days. So, but we've done really well, and it's always a good experience for them to go down into their home court. They usually have a lot of fans, and so that's a nice experience for them.
And the tournament obviously is going to be loaded with very good teams. It always is.
It is. It's a good test for us at the beginning of the season. It's at a time when we're starting to get our lineup is kind of settled, and so it gives us a chance to look at who we need to who we need to work hard against. Of course, everyone, but it also shows our weakness in some areas. It's easy to convince a team to work on something if they know that that's been something that another team has used.
What kind of teams are going to be out there? Do you know off the top of your head? Maybe
Miami
you don't know.
Dade,
Okay.
Glenn out of Texas is going to be there. There's a team out of Alabama. There's a lot of the top teams in the area. So it'll be a good, strong tournament again.
And of course, you'll have your tournament coming up in October, and then of course your Halloween Classic. You got a couple of tournaments in there as well.
Yes.
Hutchinson, Illinois Central. So you even mentioned at the very beginning when we spoke on the phone that you didn't feel like you overscheduled, but you didn't underschedule either.
Right. We always try to balance, and there's a fine line in balancing a schedule. You want it to be very competitive, but you want them to be strong at the end of the season, and that's always a very tough thing to do, is to balance the training and the playing so that your kids have the energy and the conditioning level and the stamina to stay through the whole season. You want them to be at their peak at the end of the season. Sometimes that's tough when you play so many teams and so many games.
And this is one of those things too where a lot of times your record isn't as strong because of the teams that you do play, because you are playing so many of these top-ranked teams. I mean, you'll look at the top 25 in the NJCAA, and you'll end up playing at least 12 of them, which
Yes.
is obviously, that's what you want, though. You want to play that strong competition because it gets you ready for regionals and possibly nationals.
Right. Yeah, the kids take a lot of pride because they look even at last year's national champion, and we beat them during the regular season. So they know that, had Andrea not been hurt, maybe they might have been able to be standing up there. So they have that in the back of their mind, the sophomores do particularly, and I think that they, like I said, they want a tough schedule. That's the only way to go.
And your region championship is going to be here, too. Which
Absolutely,
I'm sure
that's neat.
You got to be happy with that. Your
I
last
am.
year, you get to have it here.
And it just, traveling is so hard on a team. Staying in a room that's unfamiliar with other roommates, and you're sharing accommodations, it's not ideal. Usually that makes you tired because sometimes this person will have sleeping habits. Maybe they need the TV on, and when they're used to their own sleeping environment, that's a big thing. And eating, and it's always good. It's always an advantage to have it on your home court and being able to sleep in your own bed.
Well, with 9 matches into the season, what are some of the glaring strengths of the team and weaknesses? What do you feel that you have to work on?
Offensively, we're really pretty strong. Becky is tearing things up. Thais is doing a nice job. Our middles are holding their own. We have a real well-balanced offense. Our defense showed signs of improvement last night. I was really concerned about our defense a little bit. In the beginning, I thought it was going to be strong, and then it wasn't. But I think it was more rhythm. But they showed a lot in their defense last night, so I am less concerned about that. We need to work on our blocking, getting our block to close. And I think that's probably what our weakness is right now, is our blocking. We can be better blockers. They're getting a little anxious. So, and honestly, we haven't had a lot of time to work on it. I thought that would be one of our strengths, so I had a tendency to work on service reception, some of the other things. So now we can go back and work on our blocking and get that down a little bit better.
Do you kind of feel that this weekend's tournament's going to give you a little more of a gauge of what this team's going to be all about? Because you've had your team together now. The young lady that joined the team from Brazil has been with the team for now about 2 weeks.
Right.
This is probably a better way to really assess what you're going to have.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, the test it's going to be consistently strong teams, and so we have to be consistently play well. We can't just be a one-time event. So yeah, I think this will give us a good feel of where we need to go and what we need to work on.
Coach, thanks a lot for the time, as
Thank you.
always. We'll let you go get some rest after you arrived late last evening, coming back from State Fair. So we'll give you some time off.
Okay, thank you.
That's JoEllen Stringer. She is the head volleyball coach and the athletic director here at Jefferson College, as this is the Jeffco Sports Report, and we'll be back in 2 minutes on KJF.
You may not know their names, but the students who are helped through a Jefferson College Foundation scholarship carry thanks in their hearts. It's for the kindness that our contributors have shown. Make a difference in their tomorrows.
Education, the great equalizer. It doesn't just mean you get more knowledge, it means you improve your quality of life.
Give to the Jefferson College Foundation today.
Welcome to Automotive Technology at Jefferson College, where students learn important industry skills every day.
I'm really interested in automotive, pursuing it as a career. Jefferson College has all the great tools, books, everything you're going to need in your career. Their instructors are great, and it is really interesting learning different parts of the car.
Jefferson College offers outstanding instructors teaching in state-of-the-art classrooms. The automotive shop area has the latest in precision tools.
I believe one of the strongest parts of our program for Jefferson College students is we do not let the student leave until they understand the processes involved. We work with the students one-on-one until they are comfortable enough in the knowledge they have and the skill level that they have that they can perform at industry level.
Instruction includes brake jobs, machining drum and rotor, tune-ups, engine repair, cylinder head work, wheel alignment, and electrical work.
I was very impressed with the professors here. I talked to both of them. They were very awesome. I like the fact that the campus is very close to home and it's affordable. And the employers that I talked to were very impressed with Jefferson College students.
Jefferson College graduates get jobs in their field. The Automotive Technology Department has a 95% success ratio with graduates working at many companies throughout the area.
What the employer was looking for was people with fresh minds that know the new technology and all those things I learned here at Jefferson College.
Discover your future with automotive technology at Jefferson College.
And we are back at the Jefferson College Fieldhouse on 1400 KJFF, where we continue with the Jefferson College Sports Report. This is the first show of the new school year, and again, we're going to be coming out here virtually every Tuesday from now until probably late February, early March. And one gentleman that we're going to be talking to quite a bit throughout this year is Kevin Emerick, head coach of the women's basketball program, coming off, of course, a national championship appearance last winter and 30-plus victories for his first year with the Vikings. And you had your work cut out for you going into that off season, didn't you?
We did. We lost a lot of great players and a lot of kids that were good students as well as good athletes. And you set the standard at 31 wins that first year. It's kind of hard to follow that up, but these kids know that, the kids we're bringing in, and I think they're going to be committed to whatever we can do. And if that's 20 wins, that's fine. If it's 25, that's fine. But they know that the standard is set pretty high, not just by our team, but by all the sports teams at Jefferson College. So we know when you come to Jefferson, you need to be thinking about being pretty good and going to class and representing yourself well, and all those things go along with it. So 30 wins would be nice, but the other things are important first, and I think our kids know that.
Well, the one thing that a lot of people are going to see a big difference is what kind of a team you fielded last year and what you're going to have this year. Totally different. Still a lot of talent, no question about it, a lot of young talent, but this team is going to be really different from what you had last year.
They are. We're not going to shoot the ball as well initially, but I think eventually that's our goal, is to get to where we shoot the ball as well as we did last year. Going to be a high standard to set too. I mean, we led the nation in three-point shooting. We had the 15th three-point shooter in the nation in Aya, right behind Candy. So we shot the ball well from the perimeter all year. And a lot of that was because we had to. Our post game wasn't as strong as it probably will be this year. But we're still going to be very perimeter oriented. Our posts will still step out. We'll still run. We'll still press. We'll still do all the things we did last year. But anytime you bring in 10 freshmen, no matter how good or talented they are, to gel them and bring them together is going to take some time.
You have 12 players on the roster. As you mentioned, 10 freshmen, 2 returning sophomores. The 2 that you return obviously are big cogs of what you were able to accomplish. Ashley Weber from Festus, who actually had to sit out the majority of the postseason because of her shoulder, and Dominique Ivory, who obviously played a lot of minutes.
Yeah, Dominique has had a good summer. She's come back strong. Webb, of course, coming off the surgery, really hasn't had a chance to play much basketball. She just recently has been cleared for that shoulder injury, and I expect both of them to play and contribute. I certainly expect them to show a lot of leadership, which they displayed last year, and I think that'll even be better as sophomores. We want them to be leaders in the classroom for our kids, and I know that they know that. That's one of the big goals we have set for them, is to, we were 5th in the nation last year in academic performance at 3.36. We want to try to duplicate that this year, and so our sophomores are a big part of that. So the standard is high for them as sophomores to help carry over what they started as freshmen.
Tell us about some of the incoming freshmen that, obviously with 10 of them, you're going to have a lot to talk about. That's a talented group.
We do. Just in general, just run down each one a little bit. Cherokee Barrett played at Raytown High School last year. Had a tremendous career there. They had a good season. 2 twins, Trelisa and Shalisa Williams, from Bishop Miege High School in Kansas City. They're Missouri girls as well, but they won a state championship at Bishop Miege in Kansas City because they're on the Kansas side. So you got a couple state champions there. Danielle Adams, coming out of Lee's Summit High School, probably one of the most highly recruited kids in the country last year. Signed with Missouri early and didn't make her ACT score. She's just that close to being eligible at D1. And we were fortunate here that she didn't make her score, and she'll be here. She's 6'1", she can play anywhere on the floor. Really, really good, talented kid, and so we're glad to have Danielle. Latoya Johnson out of Lincoln Prep High School, probably one of the best guards in Kansas City, point guards in that area, really in the western half of Missouri. She sees the floor well, she runs the point. We're just going to hand her the ball this year and let her take over the offense and push the ball. And so we're really glad to have Toya. Trinice Williams out of Jennings High School. Another point, 2-guard, combo guard. Probably her forte is she's getting quicker offensively this summer. She's worked hard on that, but she's really quick defensively. Can defend end line to end line. She can really get up and pressure the basketball. So Trinice is going to be a big part for us defensively starting out, and she'll contribute on both ends of the floor. We brought a girl over from England that'll be here this next Sunday. Her name is Diana Voinova. She's originally from Bulgaria by way of England. She's been to high school in the United States for 2 years. So she's 6'2". She gives us a presence in the post. We've seen tape on her. We know she runs the floor well, handles the ball well. Doesn't have a lot of range on her jump shot yet, but that's part of what we're here for, is to help increase that range. So she gives us some size inside with Danielle at the post, and of course Dominique will help them too, coming back as a sophomore. Melanie McCrite is a guard out of Winfield Mount Union High School in Iowa. Mel is a scorer and a driver and a defender and just a great athlete. She reminds me of Webb a lot in her athleticism. Her and Ashley Weber are probably 2 of the best athletes we have. Mel started all 4 years in high school at Winfield Mount Union, was all area player 4 years in a row, and was player of the year in the Burlington Hawkeye area this past year. So Mel gives us a lot of options and a lot of athleticism. Danae Beavers is out of Kokomo, Indiana, Taylor High School. Danae came late. She didn't get to play her senior year in high school because of a torn ACL. So she ran track her senior season, so she's back healthy after that injury now, but probably an unknown quantity and maybe the best kept secret on the team. I mean, Danae's in that 5'9" range where she can run a wing, she can play the point, she can post up, got a real nice mid-range jump shot, and I think she's going to be a sleeper for us. Not a lot of schools knew about Danae, so she's going to be a good kid for us too.
It's probably fair to say that you're going to have more of a post presence this year and a little more power, and obviously just a lot of athleticism.
Yeah, I think really once we get Deanna here from England, we're going to know exactly what she gives us inside, and we like all our posts to step out, as you know, and we like them all to be able to shoot the three and run the floor, but to have that option to go inside and post a kid up with their back to the basket is something we really didn't have last year. And probably more importantly for us is have an option to bring a kid into the post and defend in the post, and so we don't have to go to a zone, so we can play man-to-man in that post. And it's still yet to be seen whether we can do that, but I think there's a good chance, like you said, we'll be better than last year.
According to the schedules, what are you able to do right now leading into, I guess it's sometime it's October, right, when you actually get it started, so you're able to do some things right now leading up.
We get 2 hours a week right now with girls individually in no more than groups of 4. So we can have 4 in the gym at one time. They can play open gym together as a group like they're doing today, but we can't coach them or be involved in that or view that or critique it in any way. And then October 1st, we can start individually as a group, regular practice. And until then, we can only do the individual workouts and conditioning. We're allowed 6 hours of conditioning a week with them in the weight room. And we use the stairs out here a lot, run a lot of stairs with them. And that's what we're allowed to do right now. It's a tough time right now because in the off season, in the summer, you could work with them individually. But as soon as school starts, then there are rules, and for good reason. The main focus should be class time right now, making sure they get started in their classes, and that's what they're doing. And so basketball right now is limited.
It's pretty amazing. You'll actually get started on October 1st, and a week later you're going to compete in your first jamboree going to Warrensburg.
Yeah, welcome to junior college, right? A week of practice, and you're playing 3 games against nationally ranked competition that first day at Warrensburg. So we really do have a lot to do in that first week, and we'll introduce some of our offensive concepts and individuals. We'll introduce some of our defensive rotation concepts so that when we start practice October 1st, it's not going to be from scratch, but putting it all together as a team, it'll be an advantage that day.
I know you haven't been able to really get the group together, obviously with the rules and that kind of thing, but what kind of impression are you getting from this group as far as what they may be capable of?
Well, we've got to see them all play in the recruitment process, and then some this summer in various AAU stuff. We got to watch them play, so we know we're gonna have to work on attacking from the perimeter like we always do. Help them work on their breakdown skills from out there. Show the ball and drive. Show the ball and drive. Every kid needs work on reading screens coming in, passing the basketball hard, cutting to the basket and attacking the basket. Defensively, depending on their high school coach, we'll have to change their defensive rotation some. We like to push the ball to the side of the floor, get it to the corners and keep it out of the middle. Some of their high school coaches would have done that different. So those are the things right away we need to work on, and some of the things we've seen in preseason and in the summer that we needed to take care of.
Last year, of course, you had some injury problems and things like that. You were kind of a little bit depleted towards the end of the year. Didn't really have a lot of great depth and that kind of thing. With 12 kids, do you feel like you're going to have that ready to go? I mean, not what's slam on the wood here.
Right. Yeah,
Don't get injured, right?
Well, part of their letter of intent was we told them they could not get injured this year. So when they signed the letter, no injuries at all. So they've already made us look bad on that because there's been a couple small injuries already. But overall, everybody's healthy. If you start with 12 and you can keep 10 healthy throughout the season, that's a real success story at this level. The thing is, we've only got scholarship money for about 13, maybe 14 at the most if we stretch it. So really we could have added 1 or 2 kids, but we're pretty much at our maximum right now anyway. So we just got to do the best we can in preseason and get them strong. James Sindler comes in and helps with that, works with our core, with our kids, and tries to get them stronger. Helps develop the knee area and the hamstrings and the quads. Stay away from injuries there. And then you just do the best you can, taking care of them, getting them rested, good nutrition, making sure they get to class, and just they're ready for practice when they come. That's about all you can do.
I know with the recruiting wars that you were with and dealing with last spring into the summer and that kind of thing, you lost a couple of kids that you were really high on, but you landed one that you felt was really going to make this team go, and Danielle Adams. She was originally going to go to Mizzou, and that, you touched on her a little bit earlier. How good is this gal going to be?
Well, she just gives everybody matchup problems. I mean, she's 6'1", she's a strong athletic girl that runs the floor well. She can shoot the three, she can post up, she can lead the break, she can defend and get the outlet pass to get it to your guards to start the break. She defends pretty well inside and from the wing. She just gives teams a lot of matchup problems, and if you had to start your team with one player, you'd say, I want a 6'1" or 2 kid that can shoot the three and run the floor and go ahead and post up, and that's Danielle. So Danielle gives us a lot in that respect, that her teammates love to play with her. She's a lot of fun. She's got a great personality. She just no ego at all. I mean, she just comes out here and works hard every day. And even though she was probably one of the top 30 players in the country and probably the very best player in Missouri, I don't think there's a question that she's the best basketball player to come out of Missouri High School this year. And for us at Jefferson College to land her is a lot of credit to my staff, to Juanica and Anna and Doc that worked hard on recruiting her with us. And it's a lot of credit to her that she saw what we had here and we could help her improve her game, her academics. I mean, people on campus have already been working with her academically. She's a bright student, and she needs some work in math and science, and that's what she's here for. And she's going to go on. She could literally play anywhere else in the country. I mean, she could play anywhere at any program in the nation when she leaves Jefferson College. If she stays healthy and if she works hard, she's going to have a chance to play anywhere.
And to go along with that, she appears to be a very coachable player too.
Yeah, she is. And I think that the academic people would tell you that. Our professors, our tutors that have worked with her, she's here for the right reasons. She wants to get her education first, improve her game while she's here, but she knows she's got to work on academics, and she's got to graduate from here to go play at a large school, either back to Mizzou or somewhere else. And so she's just here for the right reasons.
Excellent. But
yeah,
she's going to be fun to watch. I'm looking forward to that this winter without
we are
doubt.
too, and her teammates are the same way. Everybody loves watching her, everybody loves playing with her, and she's just a real joy, and she's going to be a real ambassador for Jefferson College the next 2 years.
Looking at your team, I mean, it's easy to say that 10 out of the 12, if not 11 out of the 12, look like they're track athletes. They all look to be in really good shape, physical shape. They are, a lot of them right around that 5'8", 5'9" range, which means they can do a lot of different things for you. That's the kind of athlete you want here.
Yeah, really we are, and I think from 1 through 12 on our roster, we're better than we were probably 1 through 12 or 13 last year to start the year. Now, we may not have the top end, a Candy Beamer that shoots at a 53%, or a Robin Stone or a C.T. Kinchin that can go get you a hoop literally whenever you need it. I mean, but these kids are freshmen. They're going to get to that point, but it's going to take some work. But athletically, starting out, we certainly got the type of players we wanted, and we got the type of kids we wanted. We got the type of students we wanted. And so we think they're more athletic than last year's team. Doesn't make them better basketball players, but starting off, I think you're right. I think we're in good shape.
Your coaching staff, of course, is intact from last year. You talked about them just a moment ago. Doc is back. Of course, he'll be still teaching and doing some coaching up at Windsor with some other sports, but he's going to be back with you. You have, of course, your wife, Anna, back, who's now the housing director here on campus.
Yep.
She's been busy with that. And having Juanica back is certainly going to be a big plus.
It is, and Juanica and Anna are kind of going to change positions. Anna's going to volunteer this year because she's got a full-time job here on campus. And really that change was made last April. I mean, Juanica, I can't say enough about Juanica Housley and the job she's done. The kid works 75, 80 hours a week for Jefferson College for hardly any money. She's always available to help our students. She's always available to help tutor kids on campus, which she's doing tonight. Once we're done here, she's got to go tutoring. And then she just is a great kid. And she's not really a kid anymore. She's 25, 26 years old, but she played for me at SEMO, and so she's always going to be a kid to me. But her maturation process and how well she gets along with people on campus and how well she represents our program, it just can't really be overstated. So she's done a great job helping put this group together.
And you've also been one to always say that you got to relish the times that she's going to be here, because she's going to get herself a pretty good coaching gig sometime in the future.
She is, and she had chances to leave this year, and she decided this was the best place for her for a couple of more years, and we're glad she stayed. And I just think that it's people like that make this college work, whether it's in basketball or whether it's in the science department, whether it's down the tech building, whether it's in computers, wherever it's at, admissions. We've got people like that all over campus that really help us. So Monica's just an example of that, and we're glad to have her in basketball.
Talk about Ashley Weber's injury and her comeback. Is she just as strong as she was maybe last year, or is she getting to that point?
I think she is, Ryan. I think she's stronger now than she was last year. But the process, as you mentioned, coming back from that shoulder surgery has been just tougher than nails for her. You watch professional sports and you see somebody like Mark Pryor, Kerry Wood with the Chicago Cubs that have had shoulder injuries and arm injuries, and boy, those things are just tough to come back from. And Webb has done a great job putting in the time in rehab. I mean, I'm there for a while. I thought she was living at Pro Rehab in Festus. I mean, literally there all the time with those people, trying to get her shoulder back where it was strong enough to play, where it just was strong enough to just lift it like this. I mean, just raise it after surgery. So the people you can't say enough about the people at Pro Rehab that helped her, and she's done all the work she needs to get back. And she's healthy now, and we want her to stay that way. So we're bringing her along slow. But because we're bringing her along slow doesn't mean that she can't do it. We're just being cautious with that injury, because we definitely need Ashley this year to provide that leadership. And as much as she improved last year, if she improves that much again this year, she's going to be a force, and she's going to be on the court, and that's what we need her to be.
How many of the sophomores that moved on this past spring, how many have you talked to since they've been on campus with their new programs?
We have talked to all of them, literally. Talked to Aya right before she came back to Rhode Island. Haven't talked to her since she's been there. But Evelina is at Lynn University. The thing she told me about her first day of workouts was she got sick 3 times at workouts, and they had to take one kid to the hospital. So I said, Evelina, how is it? She said, it's tough. It's Division II basketball, but it's as tough as anywhere in the country. So their workouts are tough. She loves campus, really being challenged academically there. She likes that. Candy said Colorado State is just bigger than she thought it was going to be. More students. I mean, just a real experience to be there. I called her during the Colorado State football game, and she's up at Boulder watching the Colorado and Colorado State play the first weekend. Great experience. 60,000 people in the stands. Ashley Cornett's out of Fort Hays. Just saw her a couple nights ago. She was back through, said she just loves it. The school is outstanding. The program looks good. They compete in the MIAA, which is all the Missouri schools, Washburn, Emporia along with them. So she's going to have a good experience there. They're going to be competitive. CT's at Kent State. Already started individuals, already started classes. She's doing real well. It's a big school for her. She was there in summer school, so she got used to Kent State over the summer. She's doing real well. Callie Huff is at Brevard College down in North Carolina, doing real well, got a full ride to go to school there. Said she was homesick a little bit. Brevard is a real small school, so it's a lot smaller than Jeffco even. It's a private campus. But Callie said she's doing well at Brevard. And so all of our kids that left, Sylvia Ochoa is going to be at MOBAP, is going to be playing there, and she got a scholarship to attend MOBAP late in the summer. So Sylvia's excited about that. We talked to her about a month ago. So and all the kids seem to be doing well, and boy, they worked hard to earn those scholarships, and I know everybody here wishes them well.
Absolutely, that's great. I guess maybe CT attended the Kent State game when they knocked off Iowa State in football.
How about that? How about
Crazy
that?
start to the college football season, I'll tell you that.
It has been. Go Appalachian State, right?
That
Knocking
one
off
hurts.
Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I'm a Michigan fan. That kind of hurt a little
well,
bit.
I think you can see parity, even in our level. I mean, everybody is just, information's available. Travel is not what it used to be 20 years ago. More schools are accessible than they used to be. And certainly in Appalachian State that's playing against the Michigan that's got, they're going to have a couple, 3 kids that go pro for sure. And I think you see that at the junior college level, some of the talent we've got here. So.
Absolutely. You're exactly right. Looking at your schedule for the upcoming season, Coach, obviously Jamborees are going to kick it off. You're going to be in 4 of them, including one that you're going to host here.
Yeah, we do. We're trying to put those teams together for October 21st. And it may only be 4 or 6 teams, but it gives us that 4th date and gives us 3 more games to play. Gives our fans a chance to come see us play a little bit, I hope. And Mineral's committed, Swick's committed, Merrimack is committed. So we've got half the teams we need already, and so we think we're going to have that jamboree on the 21st of October on Sunday.
Maybe getting a few more from Illinois or something like that, maybe moving over. Or
yeah, we've had a couple
Missouri.
schools. Yeah, we've had a couple schools contact us, and you like to play some teams in those jamborees that you don't play in the regular season. So we think that's who we'll end up with on that date.
The region this year, is Iowa Western now part of Region 16?
They're not part of Region 16, but they're part of our Region 16 tournament.
Okay.
So they'll be seeded into our tournament. They won't be seeded any lower than 3rd, regardless of how they do during their season, regardless of how we do. And they'll play in our tournament just like a regular seed. So instead of being 6, they'll be 7 in that tournament. That's the only thing that's different. We still have to beat Iowa Western, so to speak, to go, but you might not have to beat them in a district game. They'll be in our region game.
It'll take that one play-in game away, which I guess is nice for everyone involved, because I mean, let's face it, you had to play that region championship on a Saturday evening, turn around to have one full day to prepare for Iowa Western. That was pretty rough.
It was a rough go, and they were a very talented team, and they were kind of putting it together at the end of the season, so that was a tough thing to do. And this year, I think you talk to our region teams, it's more of a thing where Iowa Western has to earn their way in this year. They can't just be 500 and just wait for us to determine a champion and play. Now they have to play in through our region tournament, just like we do. And I think the NJCA did a great job. Harold Edding and Darren Paneer, who's our basketball, and Ruby, who's our region director, did a great job getting that sorted out and getting that straightened out for us this year.
Any chance you might run into Iowa Western in a jamboree or something like that, even though you don't have them on the regular season schedule?
It's possible. We'll certainly see them play at those jamborees. And again, they're talented. They've got a coach now from Garden City, Kansas, who's the brother to the Wichita State men's coach. And they're very, very well coached, and they were well coached last year. But I expect them to be better this year than they were last year, more organized. They're going to present a challenge for us.
That'll be fun when that comes around.
It will.
Without a doubt. Well, it's hard to believe you're only a couple weeks away from your regular scheduled practices. I guess for you, it came on you so quick, I guess.
It did, and that 4 or 5 month period in recruiting seemed like it was taking forever. It seemed like I talked to you every couple weeks, and I said, Ryan, we'll have some news for you in a couple weeks. Well, I think the initial statement I gave you that we might not know till August who we had really ended up being true.
You're right.
I mean, because we did have some kids along the way, but I think Danielle and a couple of other players, we worked on 3.5 months before we even got a campus visit. And I mean, that's just part of recruiting. And we probably had 4 or 5 good 6'1" wings that we worked on all summer that ended up going Division I that we didn't get. So that's just part of recruiting. And you got to say the girls we ended up with were very fortunate to have who we have. And sometimes it seems like that 3 or 4 months took a year. But in retrospect, it came up pretty quick here in the last couple weeks. And glad they're in school and glad they're started.
Do you think this was your toughest recruiting class? Mainly because, you were new to Jeffco, you got it kind of semi-late a year ago, and then plus you had the deep run into the tournament, the postseason tournament, in which that kind of put you behind the 8 ball a little bit. And plus the fact that, 10 of these girls are freshmen. I mean, obviously there's a chance not all of them will be back here, but let's face it, the majority of them will. Do you kind of feel like recruiting is going to come a little bit easier the next time around?
I think the success we had going to nationals is going to pay off through this basketball season.
Absolutely.
And I think it's going to be easier to recruit some of those kids earlier now, because last year, really, while we were having our success, and you mentioned going late into the tournament, really caused us to miss a lot of recruiting opportunities last year. So we identified some good kids early, but we still had to recruit them when our season was done. And we had to have that success before they really knew we were credible. So once we were able to go to nationals and finish as strong out there as we did, I think a lot of the recruiting got easier at that point. But it'll still determine a lot what this team does, how well these girls get along, how well they gel as a group. And we'll have players coming in out of high school to watch them play. And so the recruiting this year has a lot to do with how these kids come along. But getting these 10 here was a lot of work, and thank goodness we have a great admissions department, academic support, everybody on campus, student services, housing, everybody helped us recruit this group of 10 people. I really mean that. And that means from our tutoring, our academic assistants, every professor on campus that came in contact with these young ladies while they were making campus visits. It takes a whole community, and I can't say enough about the people here that have helped us bring this group in, and it really is a community effort.
Coach, as always, we thank you very much for the time today, and we'll talk to you again in the very near future.
Thanks, Ryan. Look forward to it.
That's Kevin Emerick. He is the head coach of the Jefferson College women's basketball program, and this will wrap up this edition of the Jeffco Sports Report on 1400 KJFF.